What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Will Motivation back again with another video, and today we're talking about why, if I own Ferrari and all these crazy cars, and I can afford clothes, why do I dress like a bum sometimes? I don't always dress like a bum, and maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit about my choice in clothing, but I've heard it in the comments from a lot of my videos. A lot of guys will be like, you need to step up your clothing, you need to step up your game on what you're wearing, and when you go to buy a car, you need to dress a little bit nicer. Well, I recently went to buy a Toyota Supra. Recently went to the dealership, and I got denied for fraud. I went in there with a hoodie and some ripped jeans, like some ripped up jeans, like they were designed to be ripped up jeans. So a lot of people were saying that they profiled me, the Toyota dealership profiled me because of the way I was dressed, and a lot of people were saying it was racial discrimination and stuff like that. And I got, essentially I got profiled. And so the Toyota dealership did not let me buy the Toyota Supra after I flew in from Ohio to North Carolina to the dealership because they said their fraud process and their management for the ownership of the dealership would not let me buy the car because I didn't pass their fraud detection process. So a lot of people are saying it's because of the way I was dressed. So why do I dress the way I do? I'm going to address that right now. So even though I can afford a Ferrari, I can afford a Lambo and stuff like that, I choose to dress in clothing that I feel comfortable in. Clothing I feel like is me without being too dressed down and not too dressed up. And in general, I don't care what people think about who I am based on the clothing that I have on. Because I feel like the more educated somebody is, the more they should know or realize that a person can, especially if a person of means, they can dress however they want, and they will likely be comfortable dressing however they feel like dressing because they don't seek approval from other people. And me, I have always been about trying to dress in what makes me comfortable, but the older I've gotten, the less I seek the approval or the less I care about somebody else's opinions. And in general, that has worked out for me. And I feel like even though in that situation with the Toyota where they denied me and I wasted my time and money, I felt like it was justified and poetic, because if that dealership did not want to sell to me because they profiled me based on how I look, whether it's my skin color or my clothing or whatever the case is, guess what? I don't want to do business with them. So even if I went in there dressed up, even if I went in there and I wasn't who they, let's say I was a white guy or something, and I went in there and they sold me the car. Well, if they would look at a customer and treat them differently based on the clothing that they have or their skin color or some kind of profiling where they don't think that person fits the profile of that credit report or the car that they're trying to buy or whatever, I don't want to do business with a company like that. And if somebody's going to treat me differently or look down on me because the clothes that I have on now, these would be the same clothes that I would have on when I was younger and I didn't have money or means. So if you're going to treat me bad because of that now, then you don't deserve my business and you don't deserve my friendship, partnership, whatever you want to call it, if you're going to judge me based on what clothes I have on or how I look. Now, that's my main reason. But you got to remember, a lot of times there are scenarios where what you wear, you do want to give an impression. So for me, something like buying a car, traveling on an airplane, or going to a restaurant, or going to a store, the grocery store, or something like that, for me, that's not a big deal. I'm usually not trying to give an impression on who I am. I'm not presenting myself to people that know who I am in those scenarios. However, there's some scenarios where I might want to give an impression. So for example, when I travel internationally, I do think about what I have, like how I present myself, whether I have a fresh haircut, whether I dress in a button up or try to look clean cut, because I want to give a certain impression for people that look like me coming from where I'm from, traveling to a place where they don't know people that look like me or don't know what to think, or maybe they have a stereotype and I want to change the stereotype. In that case, I will dress Press or direct to given to listen to this music. So that is why I don't buy the most expensive shoes, I don't buy the most expensive clothing. That's another thing. If I can't make money off of something, like if I can't sell something, I'm not gonna spend that much money on it. For example, I fly Spirit. A lot of people are like, yo, I'm not flying Spirit. You know, because Spirit is trash and bad and everything. Listen, for 2 or 3 hours that I'm gonna be on an airplane and spend money, that's gonna be 2 or 3 hours of money spent that I'm not ever gonna get back. So can I sit in a regular seat and coach for 2 or 3 hours to save $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 on a flight? Most likely, I'll just go ahead and sit my ass and coach because I'm never going to get that $2,000 or $3,000 back. But on the flip side, I'll buy a $300,000 car or $400,000 car, knowing I will get my money back, or close to it, where I can enjoy that experience for a year or 2 years. Like for example, I bought my Lamborghini Huracan 610-4. I had that car for 3 or 4, maybe 5 years almost. When I sold it for $3,000 less than what I paid for it. So I got to enjoy that car for years and years for a cost of about $3,000. That's crazy. But I got to enjoy the car for years and years. Now, let's say I'm on a flight for 3 hours and it's going to cost $2,000 or $3,000 or something crazy like that. That's not worth it to me. So yeah, I'll fly Spirit. I'll fly Southwest. Sometimes I'll pay for an upgrade, sometimes I won't. But I choose to spend money on things that I can get money back out of or maybe make money off of if it's going to be significant amounts of money. So I don't know, this is just the way I think I was raised because we didn't have a whole lot of money when I was growing up. So I got used to doing that even without thinking about it. You just had to get the cheapest stuff. But the older I get, I pick and choose on what I spend money on, so that I'm not super wasteful, essentially. So you see me in this. This was a free hoodie. I got some Under Armour jogging pants on. I got some Adidas, what do they call these, slides on, and we got a Ferrari SF90 behind us. Yeah. Alright, let me turn this volume down. Where's the volume at? Volume. There we go. Oh, that wasn't volume. It's the wrong thing. It's been a minute since I drove this car. There we go. There's the volume. Alright, so, been a minute since I drove the SF90. Let's see. So, I'm gonna just take it out to the front of the neighborhood, just get the juices flowing. It's been about a month, a little over a month since I drove it. And I miss driving this car, but I have an issue with this car. Nothing mechanical or anything. I have a paperwork issue with this car that I'm trying to get resolved.